Hey everybody, thanks for joining me. So this one comes requested by Sue Green through Buy Me a Coffee, and she says, "Hi Mike, I hope you are well. I thought you might be interested to see a recent interview with Paul Kelly, such a down-to-earth person. I've also added a link for one of his songs I love called Rising Moon, and yeah, which he is performing in front of the Sydney Opera House. I hope you enjoy. Regards, Sue Green." Okay, man. So let's get into the intro and right into the video, y'all.
On a hill overlooking the MCG and across the outback. No songwriter has captured life in Australia quite like Paul Kelly. He is a national treasure, and at 70 he says he's never been happier or performing better.
How many cans in New York City? How many angels on a pin? How many notes in the saxophone? How many tears in a bottle of gin? How many times did you call my name? Knock at the door, but you couldn't get in.
Paul, it's great to see you.
You too. How you going?
I'm going pretty well. How did you celebrate on January the 13th this year? Was it a milestone you were looking forward to?
Yeah, I know. 70 was something I did look forward to. I like the number 70. It's got a good ring. It's sort of what you that's like. If you live to 70, then you know. Well, you know you've had a certain amount of luck. You've lived that long. Everything else after that is gravy, I'd say.
Paul Kelly sure knows a thing or two about gravy.
Who's gonna make the gravy now? I bet it won't taste the same. Just add flour, salt, a little red wine, and don't forget $1 for tomato sauce for sweetness and an extra tang. And give me love.
As we approach another gravy day, December the 21st, Paul's put the finishing touches on another album, which includes A Letter from Rita.
Rita wrote a letter, I keep it with me every day. Rita wrote a letter, this is what she had to say.
I've been wanting to write a song, a sequel for a long time, because I always thought Rita never got much of a say in the first songs.
I look after Rita, I'll be thinking of her early Christmas morning.
So 5 or 6 years ago, I just wrote down Rita wrote a letter, and that's the song lyric, or that's the song title.
Rita wrote a letter, one you don't want to get from your wife. When Rita writes a letter, the pen is sharper than a knife.
It's a dreadful cliche about the fine wine, but you are a living embodiment of that, I would suggest.
Oh, well, thank you. I mean, I think, just if you've got a job and you just like doing it, and you can, some way, just think you can get better at it. So, I don't know, songwriting's always like a bit more sort of chancy. You never quite know what I'm doing when I do it. But I can feel with my singing is, I'm singing better than I was 20 years ago. So there's still sort of a little upside to that. So that is one of the good things about living long enough to get better at what you do. So I'm enjoying that.
Well, I could try to tell the future, but I'd be wrong, most likely.
Are you enjoying it more these days?
Yeah, I think I am. I've got my band. Has been with my band, most of them for 20 years or more. So there's this great camaraderie. People I love to go to work with. They challenge me. They're opinionated. We still make each other laugh, and we're still not bored with each other, which is, I find that amazing.
They got murdered, never had no money. Then when he got laid off, he really hit the skids.
Also amazing is how Paul just continues to understand us. These songs of yours, The way you tap into our culture, I mean, you love suburban things in Australia and you sing about them and you bring them to life for us. Was that a conscious effort to do that, or was that just something that's happened organically?
I don't think it's so much it's conscious, but I think it's sort of my natural bent or my natural tendency. I mean, I always loved this kind of songs I loved and sort of got drawn to with it. Visual songs, writers like Ray Davies from the Kinks. Waterloo Sunset was a big song for me. You can see that song. Lou Reed, very visual songwriter, and then Australian bands like the Triffids and the Go-Betweens in the '80s when I was first writing songs. They really, again, they had that real strong visual and atmospheric bent about them. So you can see them and smell their songs.
From St Kilda to King's Cross, it's 13 hours on a bus. I press my face against the glass and watch the white lines rushing past.
But I'm always collecting. If I hear something that sounds like a lyric or a phrase, it could be somebody says something. I've done all the dumb things was something I heard at a pub just down the road in Richmond. It was a corner hotel. Someone talking behind me said, I've done all the dumb things, In those days, I always had to have a little pad. So I'm always, if I read something, I think, that's a good line, or a line of poetry, or something from a book, or just general conversation. I think that's got a good ring to it. I'll write it down, and maybe I can come into a song at some point.
After all this time in the business, this tour that you've just been on is huge, playing, arenas around the country, something you've never done before.
No, it's the first time for us. I mean, I've obviously played in arenas before, but usually with other, on bigger, with a number of acts together. And I've toured with Leonard Cohen and Bob Dylan. And I guess that those two artists, they were sort of a key for me in sort of how to approach playing an arena, because both in very different ways, they made those places feel very intimate.
Before too long, he was nothing, suddenly coming into view.
We decided, well, we're not going to try and be what we're not. We're going to trust the songs, whether it's 500 people, 2,000 people, 10,000 people. There's people wanting to come along and join with you and have a good time and listen to music.
Well, they're there because of you and your songs and the person you are and what you represent. You must be very proud of what you've achieved and where you are in your life and career now.
Oh yeah, so it's always some days proud, some days think, oh no,
No, you're being modest, but you are revered. You are an elder statesman and much loved. Do you feel that on a daily basis?
No.
No, you must. Come on, stop being
If you
modest.
live on stage and go and play the songs and the audience is, getting you get a great response from the crowd, but not in daily life, no. Don't feel like that at all.
I remember I go
Is there any one thing you've got sort of niggling away in the back of your head that you want to do that you haven't done 10 times already?
No, not particularly. I mean, I guess for me, it's always just the next song. I hope another song comes along.
So what advice would 70-year-old Paul Kelly give to 17-year-old Paul Kelly? What would you
Well,
say?
I was always pretty anxious when I was younger, and also starting out making records and doing shows, especially going into studios in the 80s, and they cost a lot of money, and you're worried about not getting it right before your budget run out, and not really knowing the way around a studio. So, I sort of learned that over the years, so I'm more relaxed about recording and doing shows. So I guess I would just say everything passes. When bad times pass, good times pass. They all pass. So, just be ready for change.
Every day I fill my cup, stand up straight and walk through the door.
What's the best part about what you do? What makes you happiest right now?
I think sometimes that feeling when you're playing with the band on stage and it feels like you're making this beautiful noise that you couldn't make by yourself. None of us could make this thing by ourselves, but when we get together, this thing happens that we couldn't do on our own. I think that's sort of why people join, sporting clubs or join choirs or become part of a club when we want connection. We want to be able to be part of something that's bigger than ourselves. So that's, the great nights with the band. That's what it feels like.
And he is not slowing down anytime soon, touring throughout summer with a host of musical friends.
Yeah, we the Red Hot Summer Tour, which is all around regional Australia. We did one of those tours 3 years ago, and they were really great fun. They're like it's like a mini sort of a one-day festival, I guess. And we just, with us, Missy, Cruel Sea, the Cat Empire, Casey Chambers, Jess Hitchcock. We had a great fun doing that last tour, so we sort of said yes straight away when it came up again.
That's wonderful. Well, you're closer to 71 than 70 now. So please don't stop anytime soon.
I'm still behind you, but I'm never going to catch up.
That's all we have time for, ladies and gentlemen. Well done. Ooh, that was a quick ending.
That's a good ending.
Good for you.
All right, man. Yeah. So I don't know anything about Paul Kelly other than the music y'all have requested. So this was pretty nice. And like Sue said, that he's just a down to earth person, and I did get a lot of resemblance to Bob Dylan. When I was watching some of his music there, and then he mentioned that he was played in a big stadium kind of setting with the likes of Bob Dylan. So can you imagine the memories that this guy has? He's only a few years older than me, probably. Let's see, I'm 66. This was probably done, he probably turned 70. He's probably 71 now. So was that 5 years? So he's probably about 5 years older than me. And that would have been when he was a teenager. Bob Dylan was really starting to make a big splash. So I think it's pretty cool, man. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this next link of him singing in front of the Sydney Opera House. For you guys, it'll be a split second. For me, it'll take me a couple of minutes to get everything right. So just hang in there, guys. Okay, so I'm back, and we should be. I want to make sure that this is recording still, and it is. Okay, so let's do Paul Kelly, Rising Moon, live from 2017. And this is all part of Sue Green. We had the interview, and now him playing out in front of the Sydney Opera House. So let's get to it.
Hello. I brought the whole gang. Thanks to Steve Earle and the Middle Kids for serving it up with Verve and Alarm before. It's great to have them on tour with us on our caravan, a real treat every night. We left the others in the fading light, walked up that old road on a warm summer night. You said let's go high, there's a good chance that soon we'll get to see a rising moon. When we reached the quarry, we could feel the breeze. We stood there a moment, searching the trees. Then suddenly we saw it, that big red glow. I took your hand and you didn't let go. sun changed its color as it rose in the sky. We changed each other under heaven's bright eye. I might live to 100, I might die soon, but I never forget that rising moon. 'Cause my whole heart jumped out of my chest. My whole heart jumped right out of my chest. My whole heart jumped out of my chest. My whole heart jumped right out of my chest. Now you've gone, left me staring at the horizon. Rising, rising. My heart beats strong. Sometimes I just wish it would stop, but it keeps bumping on. My whole heart jumped out of my chest. My whole heart jumped right out of my chest. My whole heart jumped out of my chest. My whole heart jumped right out of my chest. Rising, my whole heart jumped out of my chest. Rising, my whole heart jumped right out of my chest.
Yeah, Paul Kelly is definitely a national treasure for you guys, man. I like Paul Kelly, and we've talked about this before. You know, me on camera and you guys in the comments about you know, some of your singers, some of your entertainers down there try to hide their Australian accent for whatever reason, you know. And I think English people in England do the same thing when they're trying to do a crossover into the States. That's the only thing I can think of. But I think it's just awesome that Paul Kelly doesn't try to hide his ancestry, you know, and his DNA, and then he just performs who he is. To me, that's more of a performer than someone who acts like they're something that they're not. If you know, I don't know. So anyway, thank y'all for showing up. That's going to do it for me. Till I see y'all again, I'll catch you down the road. Bye, y'all.